write a four-square narrative outline. To understand how to do this, we begin by comparing and contrasting the essay outline that we've already learned to the narrative. So before, I had you writing essays where you wrote, or I had you writing outlines where you wrote essays, and you would do something like my favorite meal, or you would write an essay about, or an outline for an essay that was about your favorite holiday, something like that. And the primary purpose of that was to give information. You also, if you recall, 3 of the 4 boxes were filled with reasons, examples, claims. You had a big subtopic in the middle, and then 3 of the box, or you had a big topic in the middle, sorry, and then 3 of the boxes were subtopics. This format was highly structured, and you had to have transition words for it to make sense. If you recall, we would put the transition words in the upper left corner, and then quotations were not necessary unless you were writing something that was argumentative. However, when you do a narrative, there are some significant changes. First of all, in your overall purpose for a narrative is to entertain. Secondly, a narrative has events, which means that something happens in time and in place. In fact, I would say the biggest difference between your essay and your narrative is that very fact that your narrative takes place in time. It has events that have to take place in sequence. And that means that it's going to be more loosely structured. You have more freedom to do what you want. You don't have to use transition words in a narrative, but you can. And good narratives often have a lot of dialogue. That's where the characters are talking with each other. So here's an example of an essay, four-square essay, and a four-square narrative, just showing you the topic in the center and the subtopics that we put in each square. Now, what you'll notice is the essay just has a topic and then 4 subtopics that you expound upon, you elaborate about. Whereas the narrative has the actual events that take place, things that happen in time and space, and in order and sequence. I'm going to show you a better example here. When you go to Google Classroom, you're going to notice that I've posted a couple of outlines. The first thing you'll notice is a copy of the actual, you have the old outline that I taught you on the right, and the new outline, the narrative, on the left. And so that shows you the major differences between the two. But I think the best way to explain the differences between the two is to show you an example of an essay outline and a narrative outline that have the exact same topic. And so that's what I'm going to do. That'll be one of the more recent postings. So we're going to use the topic, the best day ever. And we're going to start up here. And if you want to see it, you just download it if you want to see it in the big screen or in a bigger view. And here we go. So this one is just an essay format for the best day ever. And you'll notice it says friends, fair, Laney. To conclude, the best day ever was spent with the friends at the fair with Laney. So you can kind of infer from reading this, the best day ever was probably about this boy's crush on Laney. You can see that he had his friends Andy and John. They went to the fair. That kind of tells me about the setting. And then right here, you can see the details about his crush, Lainey. Um, so this way, you just list the 3 significant things, and then you go into detail about it. Now, this kind of topic would probably sound better if it were a narrative. So now what we're going to do is we're going to translate this into a narrative format. So if you go back and you look at the other outline that I posted, if I can get it, this one uses the exact same information, but it puts it in a narrative outline. And so you'll see, instead of listing 3 different reasons why it was the greatest day ever, it's listing action words up here, action phrases, events. So you start off and you have in the center, instead of your topic, you have the who, what, where, when, and why about the day. So, and it all really begins, these questions in the center, the who, the what, the where, the when, and the why, are all about what was going on at the very beginning of the story. That is the first event. And our first event is entering the fair. So, who was there? Well, Andy, John, Lainey, and I. What was going on before the event, before you entered the fair? Well, I was at school. Where were you before the event? I was at school. You could also put that you were driving to the fair. When was the event? It was in the evening. And why were you going to the event? To have fun. So really, if you look at this outline, it kind of helps us understand the exposition or the background knowledge of the event. And this first box, this square, will actually become our first paragraph in our narrative. It could start off like this. The best day of my life took place when I asked out Lainey. I was going to the fair with my friends Andy and John. We had just left school, etc., etc. Now, you'll see up here, all I do is I list the events. Now remember, an event is something that happens, but it's got to be something significant that happens. And so when you do an event, make sure that it is something significant. So if I'm going to enter the fair, it doesn't become significant just going to the fair, just entering. That's not significant. What's significant is how I felt when I entered the fair. I was excited about the games. It was hot and humid. The first thing I did was buy lemonade, and then I see Lainey and her friends. That is what makes that event significant. Then I go to the next event, the ride the zero gravity line. Then the next one, and this was kind of funny, throw up on Lainey, and she throws up on me. And then the final one, asking her out. Your final one, as you can, if you go back to the former outline, you'll notice that your final event has to be a big ending. A big ending. So this is where your climax, falling action, and resolution will take place in this final box. And that's that.